Imagine you're at the start of a new venture or project. You've got the skills, the tools, and the knowledge, but something feels missing. You're moving, but not with the fire you need to truly push forward. Dale Carnegie would step up, smile, and say, "That missing piece, my friend, is enthusiasm. It's the invisible yet vital force that turns good into great and ideas into reality." As the room quiets, he begins to unravel the concept, one key point at a time. 1. Enthusiasm as a motivator. Think of enthusiasm as the wind in your sails, Carnegie would say, gesturing to the imaginary horizon before you. Without it, even the most well-crafted ship won't go anywhere. Enthusiasm drives you forward, pushes you through the waves of doubt and difficulty. It's the spark that ignites your efforts and keeps them burning bright. Carnegie would share a story about a young man starting in sales. The man had studied all the techniques, memorized his pitches, and knew his product inside out. But his results were mediocre. One day, he met a mentor who told him, "Forget the script for a moment. Show me how much you believe in what you're selling." Talk to me with enthusiasm. When the young man embraced this advice, his results soared. Why? Because his enthusiasm motivated him to engage fully, to connect with customers on a deeper level. 2. Contagious nature of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is infectious, Carnegie would continue, a twinkle in his eye as he leaned in closer to his audience. It spreads like wildfire. When you approach something with genuine excitement, others can't help but catch it. He would recount how he once observed a leader who was tasked with turning around a failing company. The employees were demoralized, productivity was at an all-time low, and the future looked bleak. But this leader, instead of focusing on the problems, started every meeting with a burst of enthusiasm about the possibilities ahead. Slowly but surely, that enthusiasm caught on. The employees started to believe in the company's potential again, and before long, the turnaround was in full swing. Carnegie would emphasize that when you approach your tasks with enthusiasm, you don't just uplift yourself, you lift everyone around you. 3. Authenticity is key. Now, let me be clear, Carnegie would pause, his tone serious. Enthusiasm can't be faked. People can smell insincerity from a mile away. True enthusiasm comes from the heart, from a place of genuine passion and belief. He might tell the story of a speaker who delivered a technically perfect presentation but failed to connect with his audience. Despite his polished delivery, the audience sensed that his enthusiasm was forced, that he didn't really believe in what he was saying. Contrast that with another speaker, less polished but deeply passionate about his message. The second speaker had the audience hanging on his every word, not because of his technique, but because his enthusiasm was real. Carnegie would drive home the point: if you don't believe in what you're doing, neither will anyone else. Find that spark inside you and let it shine. 4. Enhances communication. Enthusiasm, when genuine, transforms communication, Carnegie would say with a warm smile, as if sharing a secret. It turns a simple exchange into a powerful connection. He'd illustrate this with a tale of a teacher who taught the same subject year after year. The content didn't change, but one year, something was different. The teacher had discovered a new love for the subject, a renewed passion. Suddenly, his lectures were more engaging, his students more attentive, and their performance improved. The difference? Enthusiasm. Carnegie would explain that when you communicate with enthusiasm, you're not just sharing information, you're sharing energy. This energy makes your words resonate, stick, and inspire action. 5. Influences success. Success doesn't just happen, it's driven by something deeper, Carnegie would assert, looking out over the audience. And that something is often enthusiasm. He might recall a story from his own experience, working with a company that was on the brink of bankruptcy. The company's leadership had lost their drive, they were going through the motions, but lacked the enthusiasm that had once made them successful. Carnegie helped them rediscover their passion for their business, and that enthusiasm rekindled their commitment and creativity. It wasn't long before the company started to turn a profit again. Carnegie would explain that enthusiasm not only helps you start strong, but it also keeps you going, ensuring that you persevere until you achieve your goals. 6. Build stronger relationships. People are drawn to those who are enthusiastic, Carnegie would say with conviction. It's like a magnet that attracts others to you, building bonds that are both personal and professional. He might tell the story of a salesman who was struggling to build rapport with his clients. His approach was technically sound, but he lacked that personal touch. Carnegie advised him to focus on what he truly loved about his work and to let that passion come through in his interactions. The result? His clients started to open up, trust him more, and business blossomed. Carnegie would highlight that enthusiasm not only attracts people but also fosters trust and goodwill, which are the cornerstones of strong relationships. 7. Improves leadership. Enthusiastic leaders inspire enthusiastic teams, Carnegie would say, pacing slightly to emphasize the point. Leadership isn't just about making decisions, it's about inspiring others to follow you. He might share the story of a military leader who led his troops not just with strategy, but with enthusiasm. Even in the toughest times, his unshakable belief in their mission and his passionate energy kept his soldiers motivated. They didn't just follow his orders, they believed in them because they believed in him. Carnegie would stress that enthusiasm in leadership is about more than just getting the job done, it's about inspiring others to give their best, to see the vision, and to commit to it with the same passion. 8. Drives innovation. Enthusiasm opens the door to innovation, Carnegie would say, his voice rising with excitement. When you're passionate about what you do, you're constantly looking for ways to improve, to innovate, to push the boundaries. He might tell the story of an entrepreneur who was so passionate about solving a particular problem that he kept experimenting with new ideas, even after countless failures. His enthusiasm kept him going where others would have given up. Eventually, he hit upon a breakthrough innovation that revolutionized his industry. Carnegie would make the point that enthusiasm fuels curiosity and creativity. It makes you see possibilities where others see dead ends. 9. Transforms challenges. Challenges are inevitable, but enthusiasm transforms how we face them, Carnegie would say, pausing to let the idea sink in. With enthusiasm, even the toughest obstacles become opportunities for growth. He might recount a personal story of a time when he faced a significant challenge, perhaps a business venture that was on the verge of collapse. Instead of seeing it as a disaster, he approached it with enthusiasm, viewing it as a puzzle to be solved. This shift in perspective not only helped him overcome the challenge but also led to unexpected opportunities. Carnegie would emphasize that enthusiasm doesn't eliminate challenges, but it changes how you approach them, turning potential setbacks into stepping stones. 10. Promotes continuous growth. Enthusiasm is the engine of growth, Carnegie would conclude, his voice steady and inspiring. It drives you to keep learning, keep improving, and keep pushing beyond your current limits. He might tell the story of a lifelong learner who, despite being successful, never stopped seeking new knowledge and skills. This person's enthusiasm for learning kept him at the forefront of his field, long after his peers had settled into complacency. Carnegie would highlight that enthusiasm isn't just about achieving one-time success, it's about sustaining that success over the long haul through continuous personal and professional growth. Conclusion: embracing enthusiasm in life. As Carnegie wrapped up his talk, he would leave you with a challenge as you walk out of here today. Don't just be good at what you do, be enthusiastic about it. Let your enthusiasm be the light that guides you through every endeavor, every challenge, every interaction. Because when you live with enthusiasm, you don't just live, you thrive. And with that, he'd smile, knowing that the seeds of enthusiasm had been planted in each of you, ready to grow into something extraordinary.